minus $435,000. Depressed for months. That was bad.
What did you do to come out of it?
So my biggest problem is like I wanted to make it back the next day. And I came back the next day and I made like 100 grand. And then I wanted to keep making it back as fast as possible. Then the next day I made 70 grand. I'm like, oh, yeah, I made 170 grand. I just need what, 230 left or whatever the math checks out to. And then the day after that, I lost 100. And I was like, wait a second. Now I'm trading recklessly. I think that entire move from like 320 to 395 was all just like some sort of BS manipulation to try to get the stock price up. What a fucking idiot, dude. Of course, the Steven and Alex indicator together. That's it, guys, I'm all out. Main thing that I think that kind of confused people is, let's say I'm in 25,000 shares. That might be your entire account leveraged 100 times. And then I add up to 200,000 shares and you're like, what the is going on here? So the whole point, guys, is all about the percentage of sizing, because the percentage of sizing is duplicatable, whereas the share size is not. So coming into this morning, guys, I see Acon as being the potential hot stock. I see TRNR potentially on a 350 fail, and that's pretty much it. So waiting for more information on everything. TRNR, if we do bounce to 350, I will try to take a starter. I'm gonna take it a little bit slow at the market open just to kind of see what the action is showing us. And then we will take it from there. You know, we might see that, you know, Acon just goes straight down and TRNR just goes straight up, in which case we would adjust. But until we kind of see what is actually happening, we're just going to wait, let the market show us. So right now, Acon is definitely getting the most action, definitely getting a big push. So assuming that Acon will continue to take that action and continue to take that money flow, I'm gonna start looking at this TRNR, but not looking at chase weakness. So let it confirm, and then we'll take it from there. So we got 10 seconds until the market opens, and we'll get started. Acon is bouncing, so that's definitely getting some attention. A little bit of a fail there on Acon. BTCT a little bit weak. So Acon, no position, no interest, just waiting for TNON to bounce. So far, no trades. Ideally, I want to see TRNR bounce to 350 and fail. Got a little bit of a bounce there on TRNR, so watching that. Acon bouncing. Once again, not interested in this Acon as the hot stock so far. TRNR bouncing. Gonna need a little bit more of a bounce here on this TRNR. Acon, a little bit of a rejection, but I think on Acon, it's a lot safer to wait until $7 breaks and then shorting a bounce. So I'm gonna let Acon trade out, and then if it breaks $7, then I'll be looking to short a bounce. TRNR bouncing. Let's see if we can get that 350. So Acon, now we're seeing a fail, guys. So now I will look to short that bounce on Acon if I get it. So Acon, any bounce I get, 720s, I'll look to short it. It's about to halt down. Okay, Acon halting down, guys. So we have confirmed weakness on Acon. So if we get a bounce on this Acon, now we have a trade setting up, guys. So you see how we're waiting for it to confirm, and then we're gonna short a bounce. So as this stock halts down, let's wait for a bounce to trigger on it. And once the bounce triggers on it, then we will be interested in shorting. So we're waiting for it to give us the signal. What is the signal? It's a death candle. So with that being said, now look at TRNR bouncing. So we might actually get that entry on TRNR. So let's watch and see if I could get that 350 on TRNR. TRNR watching for a bounce, maybe to get a small starter. So I took a small starter there, 324. Very, very small. 324, just very, very tiny. This is about a 5% position. I'm not sure yet, right? Because it's not really bouncing to my ideal 350 line. So I'm just kind of taking like a little bit of a feeler to see how the stock is trading out. That Acon though, you see it from 8 to 6, guys. So if we could get any type of bounce on this Acon when it unhalts in 3 minutes, that should be pretty safe, is what my thought process is. So that's kind of where my head is at. So all in all, guys, just waiting for this Acon to open up and then ideally shorting a bounce, and then TRNR just sticking to my starter at 324, and then depending on what type of action I see, I will either add or take my scalp. What's kind of hesitating me from adding a little bit more TRNR is the fact that there's not really something new that has money flow. Do you guys see anything else that has money flow this morning? Oh wow, BTAI is halting up, good call. So that's a Bitcoin stock, so that's good news. So I added a little bit of TRNR here, seeing that money flow on BTAI. So I'm in about 10% of my size, which is still very, very small. Ideally, I'm looking to see this low of the day of 304 break. So what's the low of the day? Okay, we just broke the low of the day here, guys, on TRNR. There we go. So 297, I reduced a little bit of my position down to 5% size again. So this may not be the biggest trade in the world, guys, but I turned a nice starter position trade into a 10% trade. So I covered half into that 297 dip, and now I'm kind of on autopilot. So I could essentially, if I really wanted, I could set a stop at break even and just kind of be done with this, but this is not a size trade for me. Why is it not a size trade? It's not a size trade because it's not at my ideal resistance level. It didn't exactly hit 350, right? There's BTAI that has a little bit of money flow today, but like it's not anything that's like, oh, okay, Acon is open. Let's see if we get a bounce on this Acon. 680, I think, would be a nice bounce. So I'm watching a 680 bounce, which is kind of VWAP on Acon. Core is broken at 650. So let's see, 680-ish is kind of where I'm looking for my entry. So it had a death candle, and I'm looking to short that bounce. But I need that bounce. If that bounce does not come, then it's a totally different story, right? The worst thing you could do, guys, is chase it down here at 620, and then it goes to 680, and you blow yourself up. Right? It's better to miss it if it's not going to be ideal. That's kind of what I tell myself to help with the FOMO. BTAI definitely taking the action now, which is really good. What's the float there? BTAI float is 3 million, so low float. Acon, unless this bounces to 680, guys, I'm not really going to be interested. BTAI is halting up. It's trying to halt up, so I would assume that TRNR is going to now start to act weak. But I only have 5% of my position left. So let's see if I could get at least maybe a bounce on this TRNR. Motherfucker, this Acon, bro, what a piece of shit. You do not want to be shorting the extreme weakness. It's down from $8 to $6. It will bounce. TRNR now bouncing. So like I said, I only have 5% of my position. Depending on how this bounces and how this trades, I will either add or just stick to the regular core position. Remember what I said in past live trading sessions where you want to only place a trade. Here we go, TRNR, nice bounce. So watching that 350 line this round. So watching that 350. So very good job covering under $3 there. Now this will allow me to short that 350 bounce. So let's watch and see. I'm going to let it trade out a little bit, this TRNR, but it does look like a fail to me. Don't want to add yet. So good bounce to 340s. Just let it trade out a little bit. Wait and see if 350 rejects. As we get closer to my lines, I can start to get more aggressive if I do see that the stock is failing. It is kind of looking weak though, but I'm just kind of waiting. It's looking weak, man. I think it would make sense to just take a little bit more of an ad. So let me watch and see. What's making it look weak is it broke the high of the day, but it's not really able to push much higher, right? It broke over 335, but it's kind of like just consolidating here. So just watching. I took a little bit of an ad there, 340. Just small. This kind of brings me back to 10% size. So I'm back to 10% of my size on TRNR, and now it looks like it's failing again. So notice, guys, I'm not in 50% of my size. I'm not in 80% of my size. I'm in a very modest 10% of my size until I'm proven right. So the way that I will get proven right here is if we push towards 350 and fail, which is kind of what we're getting. Under 330 would probably be an ad spot. Added a little bit more here, TRNR, to about 15% of my size. Gonna probably hold off on adding any more until I see a very sharp fail or I see a VWAP breakdown. So I'm in 15% of my size. Acon, this is why you don't short the extreme weakness because it's gonna get a nice bounce. So Acon 670, 680, I'll look for a bounce to short. TRNR VWAP is 325. So if we could break under 325, I will then go to 30% of my size. So I'm in 15%, and if we break under that VWAP, I'll double up, but just waiting for more confirmations. Acon, I'm kind of considering taking maybe a starter into this bounce just to kind of get a little bit of a piece. So I took a small starter there, 632 on Acon, just into that bounce. TRNR still has not broken that 325 line, guys. So because it has not broken that 325 line, I'm not adding. Acon pretty much in 1 second. Oh, big fail there, TRNR. Added TRNR 320. Added TRNR 320 on that 325 fail. Acon pretty much instantaneously was right, so I'm just gonna take off Acon to focus on TRNR. So instantaneously in about, what was that, about 20 seconds, we made some money there on Acon. But now I wanna really focus on this TRNR because we're seeing a break of that VWAP. Yeah, so notice on TRNR, we broke the 325 VWAP. So that's where I added on TRNR, the 325 VWAP. So basically, I want to see this thing break under 3, because if this thing breaks under 3, then it's going to confirm all the weakness. Acon, probably going to do the Alex indicator here. So I had a pretty picture-perfect entry at 630, literally as perfect as it gets. But I wanted to cover out of it to focus on this TRNR. BTAI hopefully continues to squeeze up. And if BTAI continues to squeeze up, we should get money flow to exit this TRNR. But if you notice on TRNR, we couldn't even test 350, guys. The highest we got up to was 345. So we couldn't even test 350. So that's a very, very weak signal for this stock. You know, we saw 350 being the resistance from earlier, right? 350 was a resistance here. It could not even test that. If this TRNR would reclaim the high of the day, I would reduce the ad and get back to a core position. So I'll be watching to see if TRNR reclaims the high of the day. If it does, I'll reduce. If not, I'll just stick to it. So a little bit strong on TRNR. So I think I'm gonna reduce this TRNR's ad. So I reduced a little bit of TRNR because it's reclaiming here. I'll try again if it fails. So it's reclaiming that death candle, which I don't like to see. So I just reduced there. BTAI, if 460 fails, so I'm gonna move BTAI here. This might be a rejection here. So watching this BTAI, I see 460 as a support. So if we break 460, I might take a starter there. If TRNR re-breaks that VWAP, I have no problem getting back in. Acon, very, very weak. So good call on that Acon to short that bounce, but did not have enough patience on it. So give it a second here. BTAI might end up losing the money flow. So watching BTAI for some entries. That's a fail on TRNR. So I added on that fail of TRNR. So TRNR is gonna need to break that VWAP to confirm, but I got a nice ad there because 350 pushed and did not reclaim aggressively. So we might just see this end up failing. Also BTAI watching as well. No, but TRNR got some more flow. So I'm trying to decide, is the money flow gonna stay in BTAI or is it gonna go to TRNR? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. So watching BTAI, maybe a 480 break, I could take a starter. So took a small starter on BTAI here. Looks like it's breaking down. 460 would be an ad for me. So I see support here at 466. So that's kind of what I'm watching here for an ad. May not come. The thing about TRNR to me is if it's breaking out, it should be breaking out more aggressively, which has me thinking there's some selling going on into this bounce. Now, that's just an assumption. We would need to see like some sort of candle to confirm that. But I would assume that this should have been bouncing more aggressively. And the fact that it's not bouncing may not be good news for anyone that's in it. So let's see. So watching BTAI here for a continued fail under 460 for an ad. And for TRNR, a break under VWAP for an ad. So if we break under 330 on TRNR, that's going to be an ad. And if we break under 360 on BTAI, that's going to be an ad. So it took a little bit of an ad there on BTAI. Might have been a little bit premature, but overall under 460 will confirm this. Like you would assume that it would just push up. Okay, here we go on BTAI. So I'm getting a little bit of a fail there on BTAI under that 460 mark. So I took another ad there, 460 on BTAI. TRNR is still waiting to see if 330 fails or not. So 440 line, reduced a little bit of BTAI just to lock in some profits. TRNR, I'm still in this thing, but I'm just a little bit confused, I guess, as to why it's just slowly going up. I mean, I would have assumed it would be more aggressive. So I'm just thinking that maybe there's some sort of selling going on. So I'm just kind of waiting to see what it's going to do. Okay, now it's pushing again. Just want to give it a second here. I'm giving it a second to trade out to see if it pushes or fails. If it just continues here, I'm just going to reduce it and move on. It almost feels like they're selling into the bounces, man. That's what it feels like to me. But until I see some sort of confirmation candle, like I need to see the candle confirm what I'm thinking. And now the thing is, guys, I don't want to just add to fix my average. I I want to add when I see a confirmation. So I would rather just not blindly add, because blindly adding is not going to get us anywhere. We need to see some sort of kill candle, death candle, rejection candle, some sort of something. BTAI, nice continued fail. Nice continued fail on BTAI. 438, I reduced a little bit more. Yeah, I'm still in here. I'm giving it a second, man. I might regret it too. I might regret that I'm being a little bit too patient with it, but it kind of doesn't feel like a real organic move. It feels like almost like they're manipulating it higher. And what I'm waiting for to see is I'm waiting to see that death candle tell me that, okay, you're right. So what I would need to see is this 370 support fail. Watching. Added a little bit of TRNR here at 376. 370 is obviously that key area, so we need to see this bounce fail and break under 370. And if that happens, we might finally start to see some acceleration to the downside. And I think that we should start to be on the backside of the move here. So I'm gonna add more TRNR here, guys. So I added more at 65. So this looks like it tried to push and failed. So now that it's breaking some support areas, I'm adding. BTAI kind of reclaiming, so I'm gonna be looking to just reduce whatever last piece I have of BTAI on a dip. TRNR, very, very nice, guys. You see that? You see that on TRNR when it starts to break those key areas. You see what's happening? So very, very good fails now on TRNR. Now BTAI is taking back the money flow. So BTAI is definitely taking back the money flow. So I definitely want to be done with BTAI on the next dip that I see because the money flow is switching. 340 break. So you see that, guys? We're not adding just based on fixing our average. Adding based on fixing your average is the stupidest thing you could do. But once we get these key areas to break, that is when you're supposed to be adding, and that's what I'm doing. So notice the difference, guys. Notice the difference here is adding when the key areas are breaking, not just because I'm fixing my average. You understand? So now we're under VWAP. If we could stay under 340, this is going down. And the problem is that now BTAI is getting a little bit of money flow. So I'm definitely looking to reduce my BTAI so that I could focus on TRNR because BTAI is getting the money flow. I did have some good covers on the dip, but just waiting to see. If we could get this TRNR to break under 340, I think it's gonna have a very, very difficult time trying to rebound because this entire move up felt like it was fake. It almost felt like a manipulated move higher for whatever insiders or whatever pumpers or whatever it was to try to get out of their position. So I have open orders on the dips of BTAI to reduce. So just in case BTAI flushes down, I have open orders. TRNR, so far failing. So BTAI is kind of looking like a break-even trade or like a small losing trade depending on where it's at. But it doesn't really matter as long as this TRNR works out the way that we expect it to work out. 466, so if this thing re-breaks 466, then it's back in play for the downside. TRNR, let's get this break under 340, guys. Let's see if we're gonna get it. Come on, 340. So very good call to reduce that BTAI. Covered some TRNR here into the dips, 28 and 30. But covering some into the dips here. Next support I see is 24. Pretty big move, BTAI. So this should take the money flow away from TRNR. This is getting pretty extended though, BTAI, so let me see. TRNR bouncing as well, so I'm gonna be re-adding this bounce on TRNR from what I covered in the 30s. So I got my add at 342 on TRNR, and BTAI, a little bit of a fail. I'm still sitting at the dips on BTAI to cover out. Thankfully, I didn't have much position left, but it definitely is looking like a little bit of a fail here. So trying to consider if I want to just add a little bit or just wait it out. Yeah, my order is at 511 to just cover out. So if it gets to 511, I'll cover out. But if we, bounce and fail, I could try to get maybe a little bit of an add or something. But mostly watching this TRNR. So good fail again, 340s TRNR. So I think we're starting to see a little bit of backside forming on this stock. TRNR, another 340 fail. I think that entire move from like 320 to 395 was all just like some sort of BS manipulation to try to get the stock price up so that they could sell into it. Covered a little bit of BTAI there, 511 for a loss. Remember guys, the key area on BTAI is 460. So if this somehow, some way finds a way back under 460, then it's gonna be pretty broken, but. That's kind of what I was playing. TRNR, big fail, covered out some more. Covered out some here at 323. Fantastic trade here, guys. Fantastic trade here so far. Let's see if we get even lower. The low of that candle was 18. Wow, it hit 18. You got any covers out there, Steve? 21 covered more TRNR. Here we go. Come on, baby. 17 covered more. Come on, baby.
This thing's weak.
17 covered more. I'm down to small size now on this TRNR. Very nice trade. 16 waiting for more. So far, so good, baby. Look at the clock. We got 10 minutes till zombie times, guys. We got 10 minutes till zombie times. So I'm out of about 90% of my position on this dip. Come on, baby, TRNR. Give us a little bit lower, guys. So you see kind of what I was mentioning here on this rebound on TRNR. It didn't feel real. The point is that they were not aggressively bouncing it. It was almost like it felt fake. It felt fake. That's why I was willing to give it a little bit more time. I'm giving it more time to breathe. And then when it confirmed, right? Not before it confirmed, after it confirmed, that's when I added. So notice, I'm not just adding to fix my average. I am adding based on seeing a confirmed move lower. So if I'm not seeing a confirmed move lower, I am not adding. This BTAI, guys, I'm just screwing around. So I think I'm just gonna get out of it and just enjoy my gains on TRNR. There's no point of trying to scalp around or trying to screw around here. I got 9 minutes till zombie times. Let me just take my profits on TRNR and enjoy my day. So TRNR, waiting on the dips. You know what's gonna happen, right guys? As soon as I get out, this thing is gonna lose $3. I know that Steven is already prepared for that. And now with TRNR bouncing, I mean, I could re-add these bounces. So I added back, we'll try to add back a little bit of TRNR into this bounce. BTAI, I just got out of it. So I lost a little bit on BTAI, not really too concerned. Just need this TRNR to give us another dip down, and then we could start to call it a day. So I'm all out of BTAI, got nothing left there. Small loss there overall. So I got a little bit of an add there, 27 on TRNR. So ideally would like to see a nice dip down to 320. My assumption is these bounces should fail. BTAI is looking a lot weaker now, but as mentioned, guys, until that thing breaks 460, it still might end up trapping. So I added more 334 on TRNR. Just gonna continue to short these bounces. TRNR is still bouncing, so I'm just gonna keep shorting these bounces, guys, with my profits that I locked in from the dips. The same way we got this forced move up earlier, we're getting another forced move up, it feels like. It's almost the identical thing that happened earlier, they're doing it again. So there's definitely some sort of heavy manipulation happening on this stock. It does feel like it's gonna probably have some sort of washout candle here soon on TRNR, and if we do wash out, I will definitely look to reduce, but the weird thing about this stock is they just kind of grind it back on really nothing. So that tells me that there's some sort of algo, some sort of manipulation, some sort of something happening here. Yeah, BTAI is kind of definitely weak, but as we're approaching zombie times, I'm not looking to really add on anything. I'm just looking to kind of reduce. So TRNR, push and fail. So just pretty much babysitting this for now. Do think it looks like a stuff there. So nice rejection there again. So you see every time it's testing 350, 360, it's just selling off. So that tells me that there's probably some sort of hidden seller or something going on there. TRNR looks like a fail to me, dude. You know, it kind of looks like a fail to me. Yeah. It just needs to kind of follow through a little bit. It just needs to kind of break that 340s area. There we go, 340.
Yeah, I took a little bit off here if you went.
I took a little bit off too. Oh my, that's... I covered more? What a idiot, dude. Of course, the Steven and Alex indicator together. The Steven and Alex together. That's it, guys. I'm all out. Well, idiots. I'm all out, dude. That's it.
Oh, okay. I'm in a little bit.
Of course you're in a little bit. So this is my day, guys. I'm wrapping up a $6,200 day which is a very, very nice start to the month. $6,273.52. Appreciate the help, bro. You crushed it.
Well, we'll see what the final product is like.
Nah, you're good, bro. You crushed it. I'm gonna wire out some money. So let's get this set up. I'm just gonna wire out 50,000. So I'm gonna give myself a $50,000 paycheck for a job well done. So yes, I only made $6,000 today, but over the past couple months, you can see here, last month I made 182,000. So I'm just gonna take some of these profits off the table, put it in my bank account, and go enjoy the day. Let's hit the button. Submit.
Bam.
That's it.
You done it.
Done.
How long would it take for that to hit your bank?
It's gonna be there first thing tomorrow.
First thing tomorrow.
Like-
so first thing, when I'm gonna be here with the camera in my hands, you're gonna show up a phone.
Sure.
Okay?
Easy. So, I mean, if you guys remember that BTAI stock that we were trying to get out of, it ended up going straight up. So we got out very, very good. This Acon stock, we were looking to short it at 6. It just went straight down. And this TRNR, we got out perfectly before it rebounded, baby.
And it's 10:47.
10:47.
Good job.
Pretty good.
How many years of experience?
This month is 11 years.
11 years.
This month is 11 years, yeah. So I started when I was 19, and now I'm 30.
Damn. How many accounts have you blown? Like, have you had like...
I blew so many that I stopped counting. I stopped counting after 20. You'll never meet someone that hasn't blown an account. If you ever meet anyone that says they haven't blown up an account, they are full of shit, dude. There's no way. Like I said, bro, I stopped counting. And it's not because I'm embarrassed. It's because, dude, that's what I had to do to get here. You have to learn what not to do before you learn what actually to do. And now, bro, look, my process tells me that at 10:30, I have to walk away. So at 10:30, I'm walking away. It is bouncing.
Yeah.
It is bouncing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's fucking impressive. Like, again, I see you for the first time live, and it's like, nuts.
Yeah. I mean, bro, some days are better than others. I definitely don't win every day. Definitely not. I mean, think about this. Look, my losing trade of the day was $300 and my winning trade was $6,000. The difference is so long as you're able to control your winners, nothing else matters.
Do you remember what was your biggest loss?
Yeah, it was bad. It was, I think, April of 2023. It was like $450,000 in a day.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad. I was depressed for months. That was bad.
What did you do to come out of it?
Dude, I did so many problems. So my biggest problem is like I wanted to make it back the next day. And I came back the next day and I made like 100 grand. And then I wanted to keep making it back as fast as possible. And then the next day I made 70 grand. I'm like, holy shit, I made 170 grand. I just need what, 230 left or whatever the math checks out to. And then the day after that, I lost 100. And I was like, holy shit, wait a second. Now I'm trading recklessly, right? I'm trading recklessly. And because I'm trading recklessly, like, the entire thing is gonna get ruined. So I stopped trading aggressively. Stopped trying to make it back in a month and went back to basics, slow and steady, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a day. And by May, June, July, August, September, October, November, 8 months later, I made back the loss plus $1 million on top of it. I wonder if I have a screenshot. I should have a screenshot of that. So here it is, May 7th, 2023. So it was in May, not April, minus $435,000. He's right. He's right.
Did you learn anything from it, or was it just what?
No, dude.
What did you mess up? Do you know?
I was in too big. I was in way too big.
Yeah.
I was in way too big before the stock told me to get in big. So like, just like in the trading that we do every day, I say stay small until confirmation, until confirmation. I just kept adding and adding to a loser until it eventually screwed me up. And I had to learn that lesson, bro, because you could get away with murder a lot of times in trading, but all it takes is one time to really screw you up. And I was on a hot streak. Before that, I made like $1 million in 55 days. So like I make $1 million in 55 days. I'm like, holy shit, like nothing is gonna stop me until it stops you. So the point is you have to make sure to like get your shit together. And that loss, although it made me depressed for months, it was the best thing that ever happened to me because I learned a lesson that is now gonna pay so much more dividends, right? That lesson is what allows me to trade the way that I trade today. Oh, look at it's crashing. Oh my God, dude. That's like another $6 grand right there.
Just in the recording. If this is not proving anyone who is like questioning your
damn,
to me, it's
dude. Now I'm pissed, bro. All right, let's
ask Steve.
yeah. Actually, let's message Steve. Sending you the invoice. Let's see what he says. That thing is donezo. You like black coffee, you like espresso, you like tea. The only thing I don't have is that kombucha, bro. I don't have any kombucha or like chai lattes or whatever the fuck that is. All right, I got you.
Do you ever sit back down and trade again, or that's a big no-no?
No, that's breaking the rules, bro. You break the rules, you lose money. Yeah, we're gonna try to put our members on our website, some more personable photos. So.
Do you find it hard to like manage the business and like trading together, or does it?
Yeah, it's tough because if you have a good trading day, everything is easy. If you have a tough trading day, you can't get anything done. Man, this TRNR, bro, sucks. Sheesh. Like an extra 12,000 now. That's like at least like, dude, could have been a nice $20,000 day, but instead, it is not. It's all right. New day tomorrow.